This week on Canada in the Rough, we're hunting elk in British Columbia. Keith Beasley heads deep into the remote foothills of the Rocky Mountains for a grueling week of chasing bugling bulls with good friend Jim Glaicar. The unforgiving but breathtaking terrain and amazing encounters makes this a trip to remember.
Well, folks, we have almost arrived. We spent 2 days traveling from where I live across Canada right now. We spent a day by plane and a day by truck, and now we're up here in beautiful northern British Columbia on the Muskwa River. So Jim Glaicar is with us, his nephew Chad, and we got a long run of a jet boat to get in our spot and set up camp and get hunting. But this is the adventure, so jump in the jet boat with us and come along.
After 6 hours on the river, the guys found a great spot to make camp and then unloaded their gear off the boat. When picking a campsite, it's important to look for flat ground with protection from the wind and access to fresh water. The guys spent the afternoon setting their camp and got prepared to start hunting first thing in the morning.
Jim, we are finally here, buddy. It's time to hunt.
It is one beautiful piece of country, Keith. It's taken us a while to get here, but we're gonna get up in those mountains. It's new country to us. We're just on the foothills of the big Rocky Mountains, so let's get up there and explore and have a great day.
I think that's the exciting part. Like, we've never been here before. You've hunted a lot of time in BC, but never here. But so game plan is literally get on the high spots, look low, see what we find.
Absolutely, let's get at it.
All right, buddy. First day in the mountain, always tough. I don't care what you do all summer to prepare, there's nothing you can prepare to summit and climb these giant Rockies, but every bit of sweat's worth it.
The guys made it over the ridge by early afternoon and found a nice vantage overlooking some prime elk area. They dropped the packs and put the binos to work, letting out the occasional bugle and cow call. Some response bugles from across the valley gave the guys some reassurance that they were in the right area, but they weren't able to spot the bulls in the thick timber. So onwards and upwards they went, determined to get as high as possible and get a full picture of this new area.
Cow elk.
The view was spectacular from the top. Kilometers of pristine wilderness in every direction as far as the eye can see. But after an exhausting day of intense hiking with their heavy packs, the guys now realized that the task ahead of them would be much more difficult than they could have imagined. There was no easy way to hunt these elk. They would simply have to put in the hours and the kilometers to traverse the unforgiving terrain.
About 15 hours on the mountain, so we're ready for some food and a rest tonight.
Although every pound counts on the mountain, Keith decided to carry his bow and his rifle each day. In this region of British Columbia, an elk harvested with a bow must have at least 5 points on one side, and with a rifle at least 6. By carrying both, Keith has a better chance to capitalize on whatever opportunity presents itself.
Cow moose across the ridge here. Not the right one, but that's awesome.
It's crucial on strenuous hunts like this to constantly replenish your body with water and snacks throughout the day. Dehydration and exhaustion can be a real danger when you're this remote. The guys pushed hard over the next couple days, up and down the steep slopes with their heavy packs, traveling several kilometers every day just to get to the prime hunting areas. Their efforts weren't in vain, though, as they did see and hear several bulls high on the hillsides. But the problem now was getting to them. The guys made several attempts to stalk into range on a couple big bulls, but each time were unable to overcome the main obstacles, distance and time. Chasing bugles and repeatedly coming up empty-handed was taking its toll on Keith and the crew.
So we put on dozens and dozens of miles, stock after stock, and again, nothing here. Nothing here. That elk wasn't there. I don't know if we scared it. The wind didn't change. I don't know if just an hour and a half it took us to get here. It fed off, which is more realistic. One cow over here and no bull with her. Just these are the hard times hunting. I mean, there's some highs, but there's some lows, so it's tough. We're cold, we're tired. Now we're way away from camp, but didn't see our bull.
Oh, wow.
The next morning, the guys awoke to a thick fog hanging over the mountains, making effective glassing at hunting impossible. The guys rested their tired legs until noon, when the winds changed and the fog cleared. After climbing to a high vantage point, the guys hunkered down to glass the far slopes. They patiently scanned the high shoulders and sparse timber, and after a couple hours finally picked out a mature 6x6 bull elk and 3 cows. With plenty of time left before dark, the guys decided to make a move. An hour and a half of hard hiking down into the valley bottom and up the other side got Keith into position to make a stop.
He's still way up there, and we've been climbing for almost 2 hours. He's beautiful, beautiful elk. Cows are both below him feeding in that draw, so he's not going far. That's mountain music right there.
At 500 yards below the bull and daylight quickly fading, it was go time. To be able to move more quickly and quietly, they dropped their packs, and Keith moved forward with just his rifle, knowing the bull they were after had the required 6 points. As quickly and quietly as he could, Keith scrambled up a rocky drainage ditch to cover the distance and get into shooting range.
We gotta go 20 more yards, and I believe he'll be on the next ridge over a drainage. So just creep now on glass. Elk. Going up the next ridge. Big bull. Can't tell if he's legal. We have a big, mature bull elk 265 yards across from us on the way to our other one. But I can't tell if he's legal. He's moving too much and I'm shaking too much. I can't take that shot. I can't risk it. He looks like a 6, but I don't know. That might be him. Bugle, right where he should be. It's either another bull or him, but either way. There's a bull. Oh no, it's another 5-point. Oh, well, it's not the one we're looking for. That bull's been bugling like crazy. That's 2 big 5s we run into up here. Got about 45 minutes left. Well, this is the part about hunting that everybody can relate to. Our whole day was committed to this elk, and it didn't work. A lot of 5 points. I can't shoot a 5-point with the rifle. So we're just gonna wait a few minutes and see what we see here, but a little crushed right now, to be honest with you.
After 5 long days, Keith and Jim decided they needed to make a move and spike out from camp. They'd been spending too much time hiking and missing out on the prime hunting hours. So they packed up a couple small tents and enough food for 3 days and headed deep into the mountain range.
Well, that was a hike. Put on a few miles, but we are in an absolute epic hunting spot right now. We got giant shoulders on each side. We're in the middle of it now. We're a good 3 to 4 hour hike from camp, but spike set up. We got everything organized. Now we can start hunting. So we'll get glassing, and if we see something, make a move. I know we got a spot to sleep tonight while we're way up here in the middle of nowhere, but love it. Absolutely love it.
Their decision to spike out deeper into the mountains paid off. The hillsides were littered with elk. Unfortunately, there were no big bulls worth making a stalk on, but still great to see. They also saw a big bull moose and a wolf pack playing in a clearing. The best part, though, instead of a 3-hour hike back to camp, the guys were able to glass until dark and then enjoy a nice hot meal by the fire. Down to their last food rations, and with the end of the trip looming, the guys set out from camp as the sun began to light up the hillside. They hiked and called all morning, but couldn't fire up any bulls. Running out of time and getting desperate, they decided to head back to Spike Camp, where they had the most visibility and hoped for a miracle.
There's a bull. Big 6x6. He's a beautiful bull, so let's go. Out. We're good 50 yards below her. We gotta go down enough. Go back down, up.
I think you got about 150 yards to go.
Okay.
Just sneak over there. Take a look down there. If you got a shot, take it.
Okay.
Come up behind you.
Okay, I'm roasting. I'll drop my hat, sneak in. Oh, there's the cows. Okay, there's 3 cows. So that bull should be farther, probably 60, 70 yards. There's his rack. Coming through the long grass to the left above them. I have no shot at him. I gotta get my stick up higher, get a little elevation on him. He's right there, maybe 70 going to 60 yards. Okay, he's coming there now. He's coming. Okay, he's gonna pass through that hole real quick. It's not gonna be a good shot. I'm gonna have to take him when he steps in that hole. Okay, I'm gonna take him now. Sometimes you don't want the camera rolling. We've put in 8 or 9 long days. I know anybody watching this will wonder why I'm emotional. I missed 2 little boys' birthdays this week and first day of school for my kids. And we've grinded probably 100 kilometers up and down these Rocky Mountains. And that's a pretty special feeling for me right now. To be able to take that elk. We've been chasing them all week. Whew. I'm very grateful. Look at that Rocky Mountain bull. He's down. Big 6x6, Rocky Mountain elk here in northern British Columbia. Beautiful, beautiful big bull, pre-rut. What a gorgeous animal, gorgeous animal.
At first light the following morning, the crew headed back up the mountain to retrieve Keith's elk. Rather than risk serious injury trying to transport the heavy meat down the rough terrain in the dark, Keith left the elk on the hillside for the night after some initial field dressing, knowing the cool temperatures would keep the meat from spoiling. Upon reaching the elk, the guys got busy processing and eventually loaded their bags with hundreds of pounds of fresh elk meat and began the excruciating 5-hour hike off the mountain and back to camp.
Well, this concludes our epic Rocky Mountain elk trip here in northern British Columbia. And as I look around these vast, rugged Canadian Rocky Mountains, it truly might be one of the most beautiful places I've ever hunted. I'm kind of overwhelmed with the thought of family and sacrifice, and I'd like to dedicate this show to Judy and Clarence Glaicar, Jim's parents. Hopefully when they watch this, they have no idea this is happening, they're proud of what they've created, that they taught their kids about the great outdoors and passed on the tradition that we all cherish and hold so tight to our hearts. And Jim is now doing the same to his kids and taking his nephew Chad out on his first hunt and passing that on. So I'd like to thank them for taking the time to teach their kids to hunt and fish, because this is a ripple effect down the road. So I truly feel blessed to be here and fortunate to have great friends like Jim and Chad to share this incredible moment with. If you hadn't had the chance to come to British Columbia and hunt Rocky Mountain elk, you've got to do it. I'm your host, Keith Beasley for Canada in the Rough. Remember to enjoy the greatness of Canada and be proud of your hunting heritage.
If you enjoyed this video, click on the subscribe button and check out our other hunting and wildlife videos right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, enjoy the greatness of Canada and be proud of our hunting heritage.